welcome back to the Will List Podcast. First and foremost, I would like to start off and say thank you to my new subscribers. We are so grateful, wonderful. As promised, we are back with the infamous, the great Dr. Anthony Dixon. AE is back with us in the building,
Nobody
and he
infamous, but
will
I think
continue. He will continue to be coming back to the platform because guess what? The doctor is an alumni, especially officially, because we started this shit and we gonna finish this shit. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, okay. The show tonight is called American Realization Show with Dr. A.E. Dixon for the world to know. So I promise you, the exchanges tonight are gonna be very valiant and truthful. Meaning full of the truth, if you don't understand a parable. But anyway, okay, so tonight, I think I am going to make the decision to play just a tad bit of music really softly so we're going to have a good time tonight. We're gonna try something new, AE. We're gonna try a little something new. Just a little something. A little bit. A little bit. A little something new. Nice little soft little touch to it. I like the melody. Do you feel comfortable with that?
yeah, sounds good, brother. I want to
All right,
grab some.
cool. I could change it. I want to change it to. I want to see if we can get lucky with another nice one. Hold on. Let's see if we can get lucky. All right, we cool. I'm with it. Soft and nice. All right, here we go. We good. We good. All right, so American Realization Show. First of all, let's get off into this thing for real. We got another book in the mail today.
I can't see
Prehistoric
that.
America. It's prehistoric America. Pre. You just went dark. Okay, here prehistoric America. This is Prehistoric America by Stephen D. Pete.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You froze on me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me a second. Make sure audio good. Yeah, we good. We should be good. Now give it time, AE. It should kick back in. We should be solid. I can see you. Oh, you went away. Okay. We're gonna wait for Dr. AE to get back on. But check it out. Prehistoric America. I got something lined up for you today. I posted it earlier. We're gonna wait for Dr. AE. Hey, he's back. He's back. Here we go. Oh, he's here. We got it. We pressing on time. There we go. We here. How you doing? Talk to me.
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
All right. Good deal. All right. So, Dr. AE and I was communicating earlier. We was communicating earlier about a couple of journalists, Malcolm Nance and Dr. Joy Ann Reed. And I caught a lot of the show. He caught glimpses of the show, but we had some fiery objections to how journalists and activists are completely different, but they have their likeness. I'm not going to say likenesses, it's just a likeness. See, when you understand the job of a journalist, an activist, and we're going to add a couple of more, educator, a realist. See, we're not limited here on the Realist Podcast. We don't have to just talk about, we just had to study the specific genre of what a journalist is and how they really do have their specific likenesses. I couldn't help it. I had to do it. Anyway, so when you got a likeness, a specific agenda, or when you feel a certain specific way about how you think life should be, even for you and other people, because you are a human being. The same way you want to be loved, the same way you want people to pretty much love you, but at the same time, xenophobic people, they go into detail about even their experiences as journalists. So AE, as a doctor extraordinaire, I want you to give me a little, I want you to give me a run on how the perspective from journalism first, and when you finish with journalism, let's go with activism. And from activism, I need you to understand how to go to the historical aspects, like yourself, the real ones, the ones that have the acumen to know where the bodies are buried. Damn, that's you. So we're gonna deal with them three pillars first. You got them down? You know which ones you got with? You got them?
Yeah, I started to write them, but I think I got them.
All right.
You always load me up, and then
That's just three. That's three. That's only three. That's three for now. But I know you. I load you up because I know you long-winded. So you need a lot of play material, and we got to interact. So, you know how we get down. You know how we get down. We ain't new to this now. We old friends on this game, man. 5 months.
you got jokes tonight.
Hey, we still here though. No. We still here. We got
jokes tonight. We journalists.
You got it.
Journalists should be fundamentally, grounded in research, right? And that research is supposed to take them to the story. Sometimes we, as all of us do, right? It doesn't matter whether they're academic, professionally, or just people in general looking for information, right? We have this issue where fundamentally and theoretically we should be just gathering information and letting that information lead us. And so journalists should do that, right? They should be researching, they should be uncovering documents, interviews, all of that, however they need to gather these sources of information and this knowledge on a particular subject, right? However, sometimes, and we all do it, we just have to be mindful and catch ourselves when we're doing it. We sometimes try to look for information that's going to fit a certain idea, right? In other words, we've already formed this opinion on something, and now we're looking for the information to validate that opinion. But when we do that, we skew the totality, right? We skew the totality of the information because we're not providing both sides of the story there, right? So we have to be careful, and we have to be mindful of those journalists, right? And let's call it like it is. There's one particular news station that has been, over the last few years, basically doing just that, right? They form an opinion, they already have their agenda, and then they try to create and look for sources to support that, right? Excuse me. And so, and of course, that's Fox, right? Fox has been called out for that over the last few years. And now they've even been, particularly when it comes down to political issues, they've even been charged with not even telling the truth, with providing false information so that it can fit a certain narrative. See, and that's that slippery slope, right? That's going down that bad rabbit hole that you started by looking for information to support one particular opinion or thought, or stands on a topic, or view on a topic. And so journalists have to be very careful of that, and they should be reminded and always keep in mind what their objective is, which is that topic, and uncovering all the truth to that topic, and just letting the research guide them. And so as they do the interviews, as they get more information, the interview should be more in depth now, because you have more information that you can ask on certain things. So when people say certain things, it can either contradict it or they can add to it. So if they say something that contradicts it, then you question them on that. But that leads to the possibility, right, that when you question them on something that they contradict some source that you have, and then they provide a source that substantiates what they have, you see, now you're really telling the totality of that topic and story, right? Because you have this information says this, they have their opinion, and then they're backing up with this information. So now you got to compare the two sources. And that's when you really start digging and uncovering the truth, right? And so journalists, again, have to stay on that path where they are letting the research guide them. And so when you start talking about activists are people who take information, they take what they learn, they take information, and then they are applying it. They're doing something with that information. They're not just staying on this theoretical stream or realm, but they're actually doing something. So it doesn't matter whether it's a voter drive, they're doing voter registration drives, they're working and volunteering at the community center in the after school program. They are doing their own research and providing that research to journalists. All of these things are taking the theoretical aspects of some issue in society, and then they are actually turning it into action and making it practical, right? And so that is what activists do, right? They actually put some action to solving an issue or dealing with an issue or even uncovering an issue and getting to the bottom and the truth of an issue. And so that's what an activist is. Now, when you start talking about historians and historical truths, and that's pretty much my area, right? here's something that I was told, and I realized that historians and journalists have in common. This is why public historians like myself, we conduct these interviews and what we call oral history interviews, right? And that is, and it's funny, but it is what it is. It's that thirst to uncover something, right? And so it's the fact, and I'm just gonna call it like the TI is. Journalists and historians do have one thing in common as a characteristic trait for the profession. If you want to be good in your profession, if you want to be a good journalist, if you want to be a good historian, whether you're a public historian, you're a purely academic historian, whether you're an investigative journalist, whether it does not matter, whether you're just a social column, you write a nice social column, right? One of those fathers knows best, and lambdas, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Here's the key thing. Historians and journalists, if you want to be good in your profession, then that you have to have part of your character that is nosy. Plain and simple. I'll never forget, I was told by one of my strongest professors in undergrad, and I had him in undergrad and years later again in master's, and he said, if you want to be a good historian, you have to want to be nosy. You gotta want to know why. You gotta want to read it for yourself. You gotta want to see that letter, and when you read that letter, you want to see what the other person wrote back. You see what I'm saying? You gotta have that characteristic of being a little nosy, and that is what good journalists are too, right? They're nosy. They keep asking the questions, right? One question leads into another, and it's the same for us when we do oral history interviews. We have these documents. We see what someone wrote in their diary. You know, we see what these documents we got from the courthouse or from the county records. We see all of that. And then you say something because you were there, and you give us the other side to it.
About to do it now.
So we want to hear, because we know it. We want to know.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming right now, so check it out.
He said this in his diary.
Check it out, y'all. It's coming.
What are you?
I'm telling you right now. Go ahead and finish up, because I'm about to come in and cook a little bit with you. So go ahead.
So what is it? What did he mean, or what did she mean by that in her diary? And that person gonna give you the inside. Oh well, that's because they knew such and such was dating such and such on the side, and they knew about his extramarital affairs, and he was going to cut it. You see what I'm saying? They give you that. See, you, that's the nosy part of you. Now you want to know why he said that. What? I see the document here. I see what he wrote in the diary. Why would he say that? Oh, that's because he knew Henrietta was seeing John on the side, and they were such and such, and he knew he would be able to get Henrietta to tell her what. Oh, okay. See, and those are things that journalists do, right? It's the same thing that historians do. That's how we get the full story, you know. And I'm gonna give you this one, and I'm gonna leave it alone. What we don't like to talk about is the fact that a lot of those documents, even Constitution, right? Even the Constitution, even those opinions written by those judges at late night and whatnot, when we're talking the 1700s and the 1800s, a lot of them were inebriated or tipsy, because during that time it was safer to drink alcohol than it was to drink water. The water could give you all types of bacteria and get you sick, but the alcohol was safe. So
wine.
They would have wine, right? They would have these buckets and these punch bowls of wine at their desk by their bed, and they're just hammering out law and hammering out these documents that we hold sacred. But
let me add one thing into it, and then would tell you can't make decisions under consumption. So how is it not all the fabrication? I just had to add a little thing in there, because they'll tell you can't make you personally citizens. Now, we're the gods. We're the gods. You can't make decisions under consumption. You can't make decisions under consumption, but I can. Some bitch. They told you can't make decisions under consumption, but they can. They tell you all these Greek right? That's how the civilization started, with the Greeks, and from Europe, and when the changing of the ages. You know what I'm saying? Those type of situations. I'm sorry. I want you to finish, but because you right on target. But I had to bring that Greek culture, because they got in America right here Greek cultures, black historical colleges teach slave master children history from their perspective, and they leave out, completely shovel aside, indigenous, copper-colored, indigenous, black, melanated American history. We have no skin in the game. Goddamn, why is that, AE?
Well, you know that because then there is a narrative, right, that has always been told, right? And this narrative has to continue if you are going to continue to exist in the way that you have been operating, right? This is basic beliefs that you have to have, right?
Subscriptions.
And we're talking about
subscriptions are beliefs now.
Right. We're not just talking about the history of this country. We're talking about going back. All different types of cultures have done this, right? Let's just call it like it is, particularly European cultures, but all different types of cultures have done this. It's just that Europeans and Americans have made it a mantra, right? And when I say that, I'm going to use France as an example, right? The French ancestors, of course, are the Gauls, right? Well, we know for a fact that the Gauls had a belief that when they conquered a group of people, right, that whatever culture, whatever history, whatever culture, whatever art, it became Gaul, right? So they are claiming ancient art and things of that nature in France, where it really came from one of the cultures that they conquered. They were not the original creators of that culture.
Even their own culture.
And so that's what I'm saying, that I was about to get to that point where they still do that, right? This is why they have no qualms with what they do throughout Africa, right? They have no qualms with having most of their gross, most of their GDP, right, really being imported from Africa. They don't have any problem with that because they've always had that belief that if they conquered a group of people, right, then whatever they have, it becomes theirs. And so these types of thoughts and this type of ideology, right, leaves a lot of things open-ended when people begin to try to understand how, historical events and things of that nature, and making these cross-cultural analysis and all of that, right? How do these things actually transpire, right? And you have to understand those basic premises in order to understand how these things are put together. And like I said, it transcends. We have evidence that the Hyksos, the Hyksos came into the land of Canaan in a warlike manner. We now have historians and anthropologists and archaeologists who are now willing to admit that the Hyksos and our certain Jewish people are quote unquote cousins, and so a lot of these things, are transpiring as more evidence comes out, right? And when I say it's transpiring, meaning we are challenging some of those historical beliefs that we've always had. So if we come fast forward back to what you were saying, the idea of indigenous melanated people does not fit the narrative, right, that has been told and taught. So they would have to change the school books. They would have to change everything in telling the story. But then, see, what it leads to, right, is how do you then make amends to what was done in terms of land, right? That's really what it comes down to, right? The land. And that's the same thing that we're witnessing going on right now, right? In South Africa and throughout other places on the continent of Africa, but particularly in South Africa, right? That whites in Namibia, South Africa, and all of these different places are still controlling large amounts of land. And so if you tell the true and full historical truth, then you start talking about repatriation, right? And that's what they don't want to talk about, because repatriation means that they will lose their control, they will lose their land, and then they would be in a position in which their entire existence is in jeopardy now, because now they're scrambling once again to figure out how to deal with how they're going to survive, right? How are they going to move forward in survival? And so as information continues to come out, we have to carefully dredge forward in making sure that all of the documentation is presented and put together in such a manner that it cannot be disputed. See, that's the whole thing. And then once you do that, then you can move forward. It's sort of kind of where the great checker answer Joe was able to do the melanin dosage test and prove that all mankind came from black people, plain and simple. And so he was able to have the self-control. I say the self-control to not challenge them on every level. He put together a full research so that they couldn't poke holes in it, that it was undeniable, indisputable facts. And that is what we have to do on certain issues. Especially if you talk about history.
For a lot of the Hebrews out here. Let me read this for the Hebrews out here.
I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me? Let me check my settings.
Can you hear me?
Let me check my settings. Let me check my settings real quick.
I cannot hear you.
Let me check my shit. No, my settings are good. I can hear you. You can't hear me at all? Check your phone. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, you can't hear me. You should be able to hear me, man. Let me refresh the show. We've been talking for a while. Let me refresh it. All right, let's see if we can get AE back in the room. Let's see if he's gonna come back in. Give him a call. I don't know. Come on back in. I guess it froze up a little bit. Come on back in the room. I'm here. I'm back. All right. Log back in. Yeah. Yes, sir. So when AE come back in the room, I want to read you guys something real quick. It's from this book, The America, being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, Book 1. But check this out. I'm going to keep picking up with the first. The Phoenician descendants of Sidon, they say people. America, the Spaniard, sprung from Tabul, Japheth, had subjected the Americans, descendants of Sidon, of Canaan. Oh shit. Wherein is fulfilled the prophecy of Moses, the Canaan should be servant to Japheth. Oh, is that what they think? But it seemed a great mistake. So to derive the Phoenician from Canaan, I'm trying to check and make sure AE ain't came back in. But check it. That great mistake. Here you go. He back in. I'm gonna come on back and I'm gonna come on back in with this one, AE. Check it out. I'm about to read the book that I was gonna tell you. Can you hear me? You hear me good? We good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. We solid. Okay, here we go. This is in contradiction to the shit that they have done. Check this out. The Phoenician descendants from Sidon, say they, people, America, the Spaniards sprung from Tubal of Japheth, the subjected, the Americans, descendant of Sidon, of Canaan, wherein is fulfilled the prophecy of Moses, the Canaan should be servant to Japheth, but it seems a great mistake. So to derive the Phoenicians from Canaan, from the extracted from Shem, Haber, Abraham, of Esau, surname Edom, from saying Adam, when he asked Jacob that read, because he knew now not how to call the prepared portage.
Are you frozen again? I think you frozen again, and I can't hear anything.
Leave her if she don't appreciate you.
Yo.
You back?
Yeah, we back. We back. Yeah,
Okay.
we back. Yes, sir. We back. All right, all right. I'm glad you sat still. That was cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, I see the forces are trying to come against us tonight, but we still hold strong. So let me not read and let's kind of walk through slowly of what I have been digesting from what you have been saying and what I was trying to get out and what I was trying to convey. What I was trying to convey is the fact that when a people came to overlay an existing society that had already been here, had already had the most primordial customs known to man. All right, the knowledge of the Americas. No one ever had to come to the Americas to civilize the Americas. What happened to the Americas was completely the opposite. It was, let me get my, y'all know I don't like spewing my burps in the mic. So, what happened in the proper commentary of America was people had come here to learn what civilization was all about. Damn, you going again? Heard you ringing, and you can't hear me. Check your settings on your device. Make sure you ain't went mute. Cause I'm not muted over here. I'm good. I can see myself. It's showing. Let me go to my settings again. You know, yeah, it's looking my shit. Oh, wait. Yeah, can you hear me now? We good? We good? Oh, okay. He got to go back in now. Boy, they be cutting us up, boy. All right, let me add my brother back. He back.
Well, we're having some serious technical difficulties tonight.
You know what I'm saying? They trying to shut us up, man. Can you hear me good? We good now?
Yeah, I'm back. I can hear you. I didn't hear anything you said, but steady. I'm back now.
Oh, so what I was saying was, let me see if I can. I hope my mic ain't too loud and it's cutting up with you. As long as you hear me, we good though. So when you give me that warning and say I can't hear, that's good, cool. So, but what I was describing was, you know, basically the stories and the histories that we have been given and everything that we have been, you know, kind of shoveled to. That was never who we are. It didn't ever describe our actual circumstances or our actual situations. Because when it came to real time for me and my personal family situation, my grandmother told me otherwise, both of them. So my father even tell me, right now, my father is 74 going on 75 years old. He tell me, son, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna tell you the last time, I ain't never heard nobody that we came from no damn slavery. What I had to educate my father on was we were the first enslaved. The first enslaved.
When you say who are we talking about?
American Indians were the first enslaved, Black Americans, my people. My grandmama, my mom, my daddy, even the European Huguenots and anybody that had a darker hue to their skin, you were misclassified and enslaved. Period. Point blank and period. You didn't get to justify, if you wasn't pale, you wasn't a part of that plan. You were dispelled. If you was not pale, you were dispelled. That's just the facts. And even if you were pale and still said like Halle Berry and Queen, you was negros. You were still when that white man, it was up to his decision when he saw them black coochie lips, them dog coochie lips, and your genitalia.
Really, brother.
That's the truth. Genitalia don't lie. Melanin. Concentrated melanin. I'm not being perverted. I'm just speaking the truth. It's genitalia tell you everything you need to know about a person. So they can have fair skin, but they genitalia dark, they got dark in them, melanin in them. And it came from a melanoid ancestor. And it didn't go away.
Mm.
Come on, brother, talk to me now. I mean, this is not perversion. This is real talk. I like my cookies.
I mean, I don't know what comment.
You went away, you got to come back. Hey, you back? Okay, great, good. You got it. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Able to hear me? We on. I can hear you.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear
so we
me.
Good.
I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Damn, what is going on? Oh, let me look. Damn, hold on. Can you hear me now? Nothing. All right, let me check my settings. Let me check my shit out. I'm good there. Let me check my settings. Talk, AE. Can't hear me? Check your phone, check your settings. Refresh. I'm refreshing. Nothing?
Okay, now I can hear you. Brother, we may be having too many
okay.
technical difficulties tonight.
Wow.
We 50 minutes in now.
50 minutes in and then had damn 15 minutes worth of bullshit.
Hey.
But hey, check it out.
Yes, sir.
You got any lasting words for tonight? We're gonna wrap it up. We'll come on back and get to them. I think we got some good got some good information out tonight. Despite the technical difficulties, I think we still did our job. They be trying to cut us off. They be trying to cut us deep. But guess what? We're gonna keep doing.
Hey. Last words concerning what? Journalism?
Last words concerning the fight for existence. How we still have to put information out here because we are here to do so. We are alive. We still prevalent. We have to keep ourselves accurate and prevalent.
it seems like it's. I knew when the internet came out that it was going to be a two-way street, right? That this was the opportunity that uncovered research and what I always talked about, information that where you had to, where you had to go to college and you had to go to grad school and even higher just to get privy to that information, or know how to ask these librarians and these archivists what to ask for. The internet opened that up. But at the same time, I knew it was going to be a two-edged sword, right? I knew that a bunch of foolishness was going to hit that same information highway, right? A bunch of garbage, a bunch of foolishness. What I did not encounter and did not think about, I guess, was so many people would rather accept the garbage and the foolishness because it aligned more with what they wanted, right? And I don't know, the question really becomes, right? I don't know if that's just their belief system, right? Because the belief system is the hardest system to change, right? Your value system can change. Of all the systems, particularly your value system can change, right? It's simple, right? You make $50,000, $60,000 a year, certain things have value. Three years later, you making $450,000 a year. Your value has changed, right? That Honda ain't good enough now you need to have better car. Your value system changes, right? First of all, used to be a time when Levi jeans was good enough. Levi jeans ain't good enough now, right? You see? So we know that value systems change and things of that nature. But the belief system is the hardest system to change. Therefore, what I'm saying is, and I'll leave it at that and shut my mouth, but it seems to me that people want and truly believe in these negative and foolish narratives because that's the belief system that they have, right? All of this foolishness and they prove it all the time, right? All of this foolishness that Trump says, right? I mean, he just tells these flat out lies. I mean, he even talks about, we had a successful meeting in China. Then the very next day, the Chinese people are like, no, we don't know why he's succeeding.
No, that shit ain't really happening.
He's lying.
No.
He's
That's
lying.
Just a fucking lie.
Lying. But people still hold on to it. So I'm questioning not, right, their belief system is that bad that it causes them to want to believe all of the foolishness that comes out, even though you show them the true contradictory evidence to that foolishness. They would even come up with this. Remember, they even came up with this foolishness of alternative facts. And people were buying into that, saying, well, there's alternative facts. No, an alternative fact is a lie.
Went viral.
You know what the world you talking about,
went
man?
viral. It went viral. Alternative facts went fucking viral.
I'm questioning how bad this belief system is for certain people that they would rather just hold on to bold-faced lies when they're being shown the truth. What makes them still refuse to accept it? you know.
The
And I've
same
seen
thing.
it in all kinds of craziness. I've heard black Republicans say that there was not a switch, that conservatives didn't switch from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. Oh, there was not this major switch, just stuff. And even in the American history books, it's there, and they still don't believe. I'm like, well, these are the things you've been relying on. Now you don't want to rely on them. So I don't know. I guess it just goes back to their belief system. But you're frozen on me, brother. So if you're saying something, I can't hear you. But I'm going to call it a night on that note. You know that the information highway is that two-edged sword. Good, positive, truthful information is coming out, but also a lot of foolishness as well, which we knew was going to happen with the internet. But people supporting the foolishness because it supports their agenda, to me, is going to a deeper issue of their belief system and the things that they want to believe in bad enough that they would ignore the truth. And on that note, God bless.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, y'all. Seems like Dr. AE and our connection was a little off. I hope you guys can hear me. It seems like you can. Don't look like I'm having any issues with some audio, but I think the connection between me and him was a little off. I'm gonna get him back on the line and let him know everything was cool, but check it out. Okay, I can control that. Okay, anyway, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for tonight. AE gave some very good insight. It's cool. Some reason we have particular problems with the show when I'm reaching certain milestones. Sometimes I think there are enemies that are trying to put it to me. But anyway, that's the show tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got the most of it. I'm going to go and watch this show and continue to try to improve and get better. But I can tell you one thing. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you will share the show. That's why I have to do shorts. Still getting better. Still perfecting my craft. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you thoroughly. I promise you I do. So, this is Willis Podcast. And remember, this is my favorite part of the show. The will is yours. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow. I do better.